welcome to English speaking class. Guys, girls, students, श्रोताओं, अस्सलाम वालेकुम, सवाल खैर, मरहबा, जी आया हूँ, धन्यवाद, विविध viewers, my students, guys and girls. Today we are gonna view the narration. The narration means two speeches, direct speech and indirect speech. Both of these speeches are commonly spoken in speaking, and as well as these speeches are a part of academic studies. Let's see the phrases, sentences constructed with these speeches. And first part is direct speech, which is between two or more persons or nouns or groups. And the second part, indirect speech, is the saying of other bodies about the first group. And direct speech is communicated between groups, between persons. And the second, indirect speech, is narrated by others about the first ones. And direct speech is also called in Urdu Brahe Rast Guftgu, communication, direct communication. And the indirect speech is bil wasta speaking, which the other bodies, other people narrate or tell about. So let's see the phrases of direct speech and see the rules that apply when we change a direct speech into an indirect speech. So there are change of pronouns, there are changes of pronouns, and there are changes of verbs and tenses and particular or specific words. Let's start and see these phrases behind on whiteboard. Hey you guys and students, first you see here we have a direct speech, direct communication. Ben said, comma, inverted comma start. Are they making a blunder? Are they making a blunder? Commas close and interrogative sign. So this interrogative sign indicates that inside the commas is the question, and it's a present tense. It's a present tense, present continuous tense. Whereas we see that outside the commas, the first part of this statement, Ben said, this is a past tense, past indefinite, and said is the second form of verb. So we have this statement in direct speech, Ben said, comma, inverted commas start. Are they making a blunder? Commas close and interrogative sign. This is the direct speech between Ben and others, Ben and me. Ben said to me, so are they making a blunder? क्या वो एक गलती कर रहे हैं? Ben ने कहा, क्या वो एक गलती कर रहे हैं? Now let's see its change, how it's converted into indirect speech, how it's going to change into indirect speech. While we change a direct speech into indirect speech, we apply the rules, the fixed rules that help us to change the pronouns and their forms, and to change the verb forms, and to maintain the sequence of tenses, and also we have to change a specific or particular words which are mentioned that they must be changed when we convert a direct speech into an indirect speech. So we have a statement here in direct speech. Ben said, comma, inverted commas, dot. Are they making a blender? Commas closed, interrogative sign. So this is our direct speech. Now here we have indirect speech in blue. So the first part we will write here. Ben asked. Ben ने पूछा. While replace said by asked. So this is a synonym. Said and asked. Ben ने पूछा. Now we approach to the commas. You see, we will erase the commas. We will remove the commas and we will write here if. By rules, we have to write if or whether. If there is a question inside the commas in any tense. If there is a question, simple question inside the commas, then rules say that when we approach to the commas, after writing the first part, as we did here, Ben asked, now we approach to the commas, so we know that inside the commas there is a question, so we will remove the commas and we will write straight away if. So by rules we write here if and we remove the commas. Now let's see how the interior and second part is going to change. Here you see that they is a third person pronoun for plurals. They is a pronoun and it is said to be a third person pronoun for plurals, and he, she, it are also pronouns. These are also called third person pronouns for singular objects. So by rules, when we convert a direct speech into indirect speech, the third person pronouns are never going to change. Memorize this. Make sure that you get it. That third person pronouns, while we are writing indirect speech inside the commas, they are never going to change. So they is a pronoun, third person pronoun, so we will write here they as it is. We will write they here as it is. Now we have done the first thing, that they is a third person pronoun, so by rules that apply while changing direct speech into indirect. So they is never going to change into any other form. So we will write they as it is. Now here you see that R is a present form. They are making a blender. So and inside and outside the commas we have said. Said is a past form of verb. This is a past tense. This is a present. So rules say that if there is a past outside the commas and inside we have a present, so this tense helping verb will change into the past. We have to change it into the past form. So as we have the plural subject here, it's a pronoun, third person pronoun. We will replace are by verb. We will write here verb because past form of is and or is was and were. So we will write here were. So they were making a blender, and we have to make the sentence positive, affirmative. So this is an affirmative statement. Let's read it out all together. Ben asked if they were making a blender. Ben asked, Ben ने पूछा if they were making a blunder, आया कि वो गलती कर रहे थे, आया कि वो एक गलती कर रहे थे. So Here you see, my students, guys, that inside the commas, when we go to the commas, if there is a simple interrogative, we will remove the commas and instead of commas we will write if or whether as the rules apply. And next we approach to the subject, which is they, and it is a third person pronoun, so it will be written as it is. इसे ऐसे ही लिखा जाएगा जैसे कि ये है, क्योंकि रूल्स ये कहते हैं थर्ड पर्सन प्रोनाउंस आर नेवर गोना चेंज। थर्ड पर्सन प्रोनाउंस को कभी भी चेंज नहीं किया जाएगा। सो हम दे को ऐसे ही लिखेंगे। नाउ वी अप्रोच टू द हेल्पिंग वर्ब। सो वर्ब विल बी चेंज, वर्ब विल चेंज इनटू द पास्ट फॉर्म, दैट इज वेर। Why we change it? Because outer part, the first part of this statement is in the past. So when we change this direct speech into indirect, we have to write in the past of where, that is where. Is am are, was were is the past form. So because subject is plural pronoun, so we will write a verb and we will complete the remaining sentence. If they were making a blender, and full stop. And we see that Ben asked if they were making a blender. Guys, we have made 3 changes here. You must memorize it. We have made 3 changes. First of all, we have written this. So Ben said, we have written here Ben asked if is a second change, because if there is an interrogative sentence removing commas, we will write if or whether. So we write here if, and next change we have the change of verb form, change of tense. So we will write here, we have to write here verb instead of or, because outer form of verb is in the past tense. So this is the past verb. So then after writing this, we will complete this sentence if they were making a blender. So these are the 3 changes. And in the end we will write full stop here. So this is the indirect speech and a beautiful formation of a sentence. Now let's see the next statement. Let's proceed to the next statement in indirect speech. आइए अब अगली जो बयानिया है, अगला जो सेंटेंस है, इसे पढ़ते हैं, जो कि डायरेक्ट बराह रास्त गुफ्तगू है। और let's see here in direct speech. Sam said, Sam ने कहा, comma inverted comma start, will you keep your word? Will you keep your word, commas close and interrogative sign. Sam said, comma inverted comma start, will you keep your word? Commas close interrogative sign. Sam ने कहा, और commas के अंदर देखिए, Sam said, Sam ने कहा, ये past tense है। और आगे कॉमर्स में देखिए, will you keep your word, commas close interrogative sign. So this is also a question and it's a future tense, future indefinite tense. Will you keep your word? क्या तुम अपना वादा पूरा करोगे? Will you keep your word? क्या आप अपना वादा पूरा करोगे? तो Sam said, Sam ने कहा, कॉमा इन्वर्टेड कॉमा स्टार्ट, उल्टे कॉमे जो है वो लिखने के बाद कॉमर्स के अंदर आप देखिए, सेकंड पार्ट ऑफ दिस स्टेटमेंट इज विल यू कीप योर वर्ड। विल यू कीप योर वर्ड, क्या तुम अपना वादा पूरा करोगे, कॉमर्स क्लोज इंटरोगेटिव साइन। सो हियर यू सी माय स्टूडेंट्स, सो दिस स्टेटमेंट, that statement in 2 parts. Outer part is in the past and inside the commas we have a future indefinite and there is a question mark, so this is also a question. Now let's see its change, how it's going to change. Here you see indirect speech here, बेवास्ता गुफ्तगू देखिए, it's in blue here. So Sam asked, again we have written here asked instead of said. Sam asked, Sam ने पूछा, and when you approach to the commas, because it was a simple query, simple question, so we have to write here if. By removing commas we will write here if. commas को हटा के हम यहाँ पे if लिखेंगे, क्योंकि ये सिंपल सादा एक सवालिया जुमला था और जो रूल्स हैं वो यही हैं कि जब आप commas पे पहुँचें चेंजेस करते वक्त, तो आपने कॉमर्स को हटा के इफ लिखना है या वेदर लिखना है, तो वेदर की स्पेलिंग जो है ज़्यादा है और वो लंबा वर्ड है, लॉन्ग लेंथी वर्ड है, सो इंस्टेड ऑफ वेदर वी हैव रिटन है इफ। सो कॉमर्स रिमूव करेंगे और यहाँ पे हमने इफ लिखा, जैसा कि पहले ऊपर भी हमने इफ लिखा। नाउ वी अप्रोच हियर, आफ्टर इफ वी हैव दिस यू। यू इज द सेकंड पर्सन, प्लीज memorize it that I and we are first person in English speaking, English language, and you is the second person in English language, and this is the only word. You is a second person. This is also used, you is also used as a subject as well as an object in the sentences. So rules say that if we have you inside the commas, so you must be changed by outer object. So Sam said to me, Sam said to me, Sam ने मुझसे कहा, ठीक है। और कॉमर्स के अंदर है विल यू कीप योर वर्ड, क्या तुम अपना वादा पूरा करोगे, क्या तुम अपना वादा निभाओगे। नाउ वी हैव यू हियर सेकंड पर्सन, एंड रूल्स से दैट यू इज गोना चेंज, you is gonna replaced by outer object, so that is me, right? So we need me's subjective form, that is I. So you will be replaced by me, and we have to write its subjective form, that is I. So we will write here I after writing it, and we will write here I. And because we have to change this question into a positive affirmative statement, this questionary statement is going to be changed into affirmative or positive statement, because the rules say that we must change the questionary sentence, questionary phrase into a positive or affirmative phrase. So we have if here, after if you is replaced by outer object me, and we have written here me's subjective form, that is I. And now I approach to the verb, it's in future will, and we have outside the commas past said. So we have a new subject here I, and when we write the future sentence, we have to write shall, I shall. So the past of shall is should. Now we have to write the past form of shall, that is should. will की past form would होगी, would या would, और shall की होगी should, because we have to write here past form of shall, that is should, because outer statement of this that speech is in the past. So we will write here should. I should keep. Now here you have your, as we have changed you by outer object me, I, and I, we have to write here the possessive form of I, that is my, because as we have a subject here I, and its possessive form will be according to the I, that is my. Here we had you and your, so here now because the subject has changed, so subject जो है फाइल चेंज हुआ है, तो इसके मुताबिक हमने इसकी जो है possessive form लिखनी है, that is my. So I should keep my word. So your is replaced by my according to the subject of this statement. So we have to make 4 changes here. First we have written asked instead of said, then we have removed commas and we have written here if, then we have changed the second जो है ये you second pronoun है, तो यू को हमने आउटर ऑफ सब्जेक्ट ऑब्जेक्ट से चेंज किया. So this is the third change. We have written here I, second person है you. और then third change is helping verb. This is will. I के साथ shall लिखा जाता है, तो shall का past should है, तो यहाँ पे fourth change हमने should की. और next change according to subject I, we have written the possessive form of I, my word. So let's read this statement all together. Sam asked if I should keep my word. Sam asked if I should keep my word. Sam ने कहा आया कि मुझे अपना वादा पूरा करना चाहिए. सैम ने कहा आया कि I should keep my word, मुझे अपना वादा पूरा करना चाहिए. So this is the change of this direct speech into indirect speech. Hey you guys, very interesting phrase. So let's see the next statement in direct speech, and next we will see its changes. Here see the direct speech in red is Kelly said, comma inverted comma stat, when I shall be free. Kelly said, comma inverted comma stat, when I shall be free, comma close interrogative sign. Kelly ने कहा when I shall be free, मैं कब free हो जाऊंगी, मैं कब free हो जाऊंगी. So this is also a present future indefinite tense, and in the outer part is in the past. So we have a specific word here when in the start, and this is also a question. When I shall be free, मैं कब तक free हो जाऊंगी, मुझे कब तक मुझे कब तक काम से फारग हो जाऊंगी, मैं कब तक फारग हो जाऊंगी. Let's see its change now, because this is also a question, and we have a when here. It's not a simple interrogative. We can say this is not a simple interrogative. So let's see how the changes are made. Here you see in direct speech, Kelly asked, as we have done above that. Kelly asked, instead of said, we write here asked. Kelly ने पूछा. Now we go to the commas. Here see we have written here when. Please keep in mind that rules say that when there are in direct speech, when we have W and H words. W means when, why, where, what, who, and how. So these words will not be changed and will not be replaced. These will be written as they are in indirect speech. After writing the first part of direct speech into indirect, when we approach to these particular words which are W's and H, when, why, where, what, who, whose, and how. So these will be written as it is. They are never gonna change in any other form. इनको हम ना तो किसी दूसरी फॉर्म में तब्दील कर सकते हैं और ना ही इन्हें आगे पीछे रिप्लेस कर सकते हैं. ये यहीं पे लिखे जाएंगे और कामास रिमूव हो जाएंगे. इनको हम ऐसे ही इनडायरेक्ट स्पीच में लिख देंगे. तो यहाँ पे आप देखिए Kelly asked when. Commas are removed and when is written here as it is by rules, as the rules say. So now we approach again to inside. After when we approach to the statement, that is I. I is the first person, so by rules it's gonna change by outer subject, that is Kelly, and Kelly's pronoun we know is a she. So I will be replaced by Kelly. Kelly is a noun. We need its pronoun, that is she. We will write here she. So I am replaced by outer subject Kelly, and its pronoun is she. We will write here she. And again we have shall here, and we need is the past form, and we know that in future tense after writing she we have to write will. She will. So because in the outer part we have a past, so we will write here would. She would be free. she would be free. Can you see that? Kelly asked when she would be free. तो यहाँ पे full stop लगाएंगे और ये पॉजिटिव और अफर्मेटिव स्टेटमेंट हमारे पास बनी. एज पर रूल्स हमने जो चेंजेस की तो हमारे पास ये अफर्मेटिव पॉजिटिव स्टेटमेंट पॉजिटिव सेंटेंस हमारे पास यहाँ पे जो है ये बना. इंटरेक्ट स्पीच. लेट्स रीड इट आउट टुगेदर. Kelly asked when she would be free. Kelly asked when she would be free. Kelly ने पूछा कि वो कब फ्री होगी. वो कब फ्री होगी. Kelly asked when she would be free. तो यहाँ पे भी आप गाइस एंड स्टूडेंट्स देखिए 3 चेंजेस हमने की. In the outer part we have written here asked instead of said, and when we go to the commas, because this is a specific word with the W when, so we have to write it as it is, and we have to remove the commas. We will remove the commas and we will write it as it is as the rules say. Applying the rules, we will write when, and next this is the first person I. It will be changed out to subject, that is Kelly. Kelly's pronoun is she. We will say she. We will write here she. And next we read to the helping verb, that is a shall. She जो है इसके बाद सिंपल फ्यूचर में विल आता है तो विल की पास्ट वुड होगी क्योंकि बाहर पास्ट है. सो विल की पास्ट जो है फॉर्म वुड है तो वी विल राइट अ वुड. सो व्हेन शी वुड बी फ्री. तो यहाँ पे 3 चेंजेस आपने देखी. सो कैली आस्क्ड व्हेन शी वुड बी फ्री. तो ये आपकी इंटरेक्ट स्पीच थी. तो ये गाइस टुडे वी हैव डिस्कस्ड द sentences, the indirect speech. Mostly they were simple interrogatives and after, and the last one was a particular interrogative with the use of when. So आपने इसकी changes देखी, memorize these and try to make a good note of these changes, and that will help you out in practical life in speaking as well as in academic studies. I will see you again. Goodbye. Thank you.